Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you also. Oh, sorry, my eyes itchy, my delicious baby, sorry. And how I love you also. And I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you so deliciously wherever you are. So what do we do? 3, 2, 1, beam me up, my juice little lads. Thank you, little lads, you delicious air brat. Now then they are, aren't they? Oh, they're super duper brat, aren't they, my delicious baby? Look, I'm an alien. My delicious babies, take the notice. Try and get them where they're not so... Anyway, my delicious babies. Now then, right, okay. So we've got the first one, okay? The weather in our neck of the woods in the old UK. Well, you know, if it's raining, it's raining. Surprise, surprise. No surprise, my delicious little babies, okay? Yes, it is rather chilly today in our neck of the woods in the old UK. It may differ in other places, okay, my delicious babies? Now then, here we go. Okay, so the first one, my delicious little babies, on BitChute, my delicious little babies, you know, search engine of your choice, please and thank you. If you could, please and thank you, please type in BitChute with a C, not an S, I wouldn't say H, BitChute, you scroll down, news and politics, and bang, you're on there, my delicious babies, okay? And the uploader now, okay, my delicious babies, on BitChute, happens to have 5,105 subscribers, my delicious little babies. So it's 5,105 subscribers, my delicious little babies, on BitChute. The uploader is called Willie Alfredo. Okay, my delicious little babies. Willie Alfredo. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then, this is only a short video, my delicious babies. I think it's just over 6 minutes long, okay? And it should read, Bill Gates, insider, bursts, you know, he's boasting, okay? My delicious baby. Billions will, well, I've just put, you know, very sadly, pass away in 2024. My delicious little babies, okay? So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? My delicious little babies. Bill Gates insider bursts, millions will pass away in 2024 pandemic. Okay, my delicious little babies, yes. So what's happening is some of these that the uploader, God bless, and like I say with any of them, not in that way, okay? Well, with the uploader, he's sort of taken some clips which was from previously. Do you know some saying, my delicious babies, like a few years ago, okay, my delicious babies? And one of them is where, you know, like Bill Gates, you know, that putrid, evil, wicked, spiteful, mind you, he's also spineless. Okay, my delicious little babies, because without his ka-ching, his F-all, my delicious big babes. Actually, see how I've just all stumbled then, yes? I'm going to tell you something is F-all anyway, my delicious little babies, because I was having a discussion today. Anyway, I'll talk about that in a bit, my delicious babies. But the fact of the matter is, he's just really a little man in a little suit, you see. Okay, my delicious little babies, and he's also a lackey. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So anyway, well, he was quite happy, you know, with his missus there, okay, my delicious little babies. Well, she's not his missus anymore, is she? Okay, my delicious babies. Well, I mean, only according to what they say in the news quite a while ago. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? You know, on alternative media, because that was flying around. You know what I mean? Maybe they've just put her out the way for a bit. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my delicious little babies, well, they're quite happy to smile and to say this Bill, putrid Bill and putrid Melinda Gates, okay, because she's a flipping old bag. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? You know, she may flipping dress like she's all flipping prim and proper. She's flipping nurse such everything. Do you understand what I mean? My delicious little babies, she's a wicked witch, okay, my delicious babies. they're both as bad as each other. Well, I'm quite happy to smile together and say that the next, I call it a pandemic, the next pandemic, you know, that we're going to sit up and listen. Do you see what I mean? Yes, okay. So, yes, so this sort of, with some clips, goes back. It goes backwards. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? But yes, I've seen these. There we are. I've already seen all of these. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies, at the time, okay? So, but for those of you delicious babies who know, so you will know, but other little delicious babies out there will not know our delicious babies, okay? But please, you know, if you just watch that, you know, you'll just see how putrid and wicked and evil certain in the world can be. But of course, you know, you see, there's an old-fashioned saying, isn't there, my delicious babies? And I'm going to mention it. You know, like when, say, if your personality is to mix. Now, this is there we are, a saying from decades ago, okay? It's a saying from decades ago. So, if one mixes with nice folk, as we would call it, yes, then the chances are, a very high chance, that you're mixing in the right circle, okay? In the right circle, circles. So, what happens is, if you're mixing around nice, yes, then that's going to rub off onto you, and then you could already be nice, okay? But then if you're around, you know, others in your small circle who are super duper nice, then that rubs off onto you. So it will make you even more super duper nice than what you already are. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious baby? So what happens here then? So then the opposite happens. So if you mix with what putrid Bill and Melinda Gates, okay, if you mix with unsavoury, who are not very nice, my delicious babies, okay, and really found it hard to find their heart, you know, because as we know, you know, for most out there, my delicious babies, everybody, it's like, oh, you've heard that saying, have a heart. Do you understand what I mean? Yes? And for others, oh, you know, someone could say, oh, what a big heart, you know, somebody's got, you know, they're so kind to everybody, you see. But if you mix with nasty, okay, like Bill and Melinda Gates does, okay, and our putrid lackey governments all over the world, you know, in the UK and all over the world, yes, then what's going to happen then? See, I'm stumbling again. I'll tell you what happens, my delicious babies. You see, I always say, you know, you mix with those that you wouldn't even wipe off your effing shoe. Do you see what I mean? And then you, because it rubs off on you, you become the same. Where, you know, nobody out here would want to wipe them off their shoe. Do you see? Are you following me, my delicious babies, okay? Well, Bill and Melinda Gates very clearly, well, that's who they seem to associate themselves with. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? So how can they be expected to be liked when all that they've ever wanted to do was, and still continue to do, is poison everybody, my delicious little babies globally? Do you see? My delicious babies. But yes, well worth a watch, that little video, my delicious little babies. Okay, now then. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yes, the next one, my delicious little babies. Yes, okay. I think this has happened a couple of days ago now. So Tommy Robinson in our UK, my delicious little babies. I did see a short video on this, my delicious little babies, where, yes. So he was sat in a cafe in London, my delicious little babies, you know, because he wanted to join in the, what do they call them, the, you know, the protest kind of thing, yes, okay. And, well, then the old Bill came up to him, my delicious babies, okay? Now, it appears that all he seemed to have been doing, okay, from what we can see of the footage, okay, because it's on different platforms, my delicious babies, was simply having a hot beverage and waiting for his breakfast, which he'd already paid for. Okay, my delicious little babies, it had not arrived yet, okay? So the old Bill came in and basically told him to leave. Okay, my delicious little babies, which of course, he said, well, no, he said he's not going to leave because he was waiting for his breakfast to arrive, okay? And he was also explaining to the old Bill, the police in our UK, that he's actually there as his job. My delicious little babies, okay? Anyway, they still was not having it. Then they sent somebody else in. I'll tell you what, you've never seen, honestly, no joke, you've never seen so many old Bill in your life, my delicious little babies, okay? Anyway, the fact of the matter is, somewhere down the line, well, it appears that, yes, he did get arrested and, was not treated very nicely. And then apparently, only from what I've heard, okay? And then it turns out that he was arrested for the night. My delicious babies, so he was locked up. Okay, my delicious babies, so yes. So that appears to be what's happened there, my delicious little babies, okay? Now, the thing is this, okay? Now, however this rocks and rolls, whatever goes on, my delicious little babies, yes? The fact is, somebody, okay, if they are not causing any problems, my delicious little babies, okay, that's all I can assume, my delicious little babies, okay? He did not look to me as though he was causing any problems, okay, as I'm sure to most others who would watch these different videos, okay? They would also agree that it did not look like he was causing any bother to anybody. He was just having a hot beverage and waiting for his brekkie, okay? Well, I mean, really, if this is a state of things, okay, my delicious little babies, well, surely to goodness now, it is, unless, it can be pointed out to others, well, the situation's clearly, there we are, going to get worse, isn't it, my delicious babies? Because it's surely, to goodness, not going to get any better. Can you say? So to me, I just feel that I mentioned Tommy before, my delicious little babies. To me, I just feel that every which way how the old Bill, and everything, okay, the governments, they have it in for Tommy Robinson every time. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies? But nevertheless, if somebody is not doing a thing wrong, this is the point, okay? There's plenty of videos out there, my delicious babies, on old YouTube and on BitChute, okay, my delicious babies? And I'm pretty sure for others it'll be on Rumble and other places, okay, my delicious babies? So it all seems to be, there we are, the same footage, okay? So, just different clips. And never once did I see Tommy, where, he was being verbally abusive, or do you understand what I mean? He was just done asking the question, if he's just sat down, then why are all your bill? Do you see what I mean? He was just done asking the question, do you say? But that's the latest update there. So I will say this, my delicious babies, okay? And I will. God bless anybody, my delicious babies, okay? Who, found themselves in that situation. However, you do not seem to hear, my delicious babies, a lot say in the box in the corner of the room. I personally do not watch television programming, and I do not have a television, okay? But there does not, from what I've heard, only from what I've heard, seem to be really much coverage on this particular little story at all, my delicious babies. So ones have to ding, ding, dong, dong, ask themselves a question, why, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, please and thank you. So that's the latest there. Now then, the next one, my delicious little babies, okay? This is on a BitChute, my delicious little babies. Now, this uploader happens to have 200 and 56 subscribers, my delicious babies. So it's 256. Okay, my delicious babies. Now on BitChute. Now the video that you're looking for. Okay, I was only listening to it yesterday. Okay, my delicious babies. Yes, was it yesterday I was listening to it? Could have been. It's alright because I was doing my painting yesterday, my delicious babies. Okay, so it looks a lot brighter. Okay, well anyway, it was bright anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm always flipping painting. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Anyway, so there we are. That's true. That is my delicious babies. I really am, you know, right? I've just had oh God bless one of my beautiful dear little mates, you know, help me to well, they put me mirror back on the wall because it is rather heavy actually. My delicious babies. Okay. Now then. So this one is called, on our BitChute, my delicious little babies, okay? It's called Crypto Rich, okay? My delicious little babies, Crypto Rich, okay? My delicious babies. Now then, the video should say no to net zero, no to taxes, to pay for net zero with Chris Coverdale and Steve Milloy. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again, shall I? My delicious babies, okay? Say no to net zero, no to taxes, to pay for net zero with Chris Coverdale and Steve Milloy. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, the one gentleman there, I do know actually, he went on another channel. When was it now? Was it a couple of years ago? Anyway, and he not long as well went on to another channel that I've seen, My Delicious Little Babies. That was only weeks ago. Okay, My Delicious Babies. Anyway, it's very interesting actually, My Delicious Babies. So you've got the three gentlemen there talking, and like I said, with any of these, not in that way, okay, with any of the videos I put out. Well, it's a really interesting video, my delicious babies, okay? It's, I do believe, is it over an hour long? It's over an hour long, my delicious babies. If you wanted to find Tommy Robinson, bless, well, you'll find it on YouTube, my delicious babies, okay? On different places, okay, my delicious babies, but you will find it just... super duper easy to find, okay? But it's also on BitChute as well, my delicious baby, so you'll be able to find out the latest there, okay? Now, finally, before I say something else, please and thank you, something that I want to say now. So it's ever so strange because before I usually when I write the date down, okay, like it's 27th to the 11th, 23. My delicious babies. That's how we do it in the UK. You know, the over the pond in North America, in the USA, well, they do it the opposite way around for some strange reason. Okay. Well, anyway, I suppose it's up to each different country how to rock and roll it, isn't it? Really, my delicious babies. But the fact of the matter is that when I come to this, because I knew what I was going to put down. My delicious babies, but when I was writing it, for some strange reason, I wrote down the 28th, and I had to change it, the 8 to the 7, my delicious babies. The 11 was as normal, okay, my delicious babies, but then instead of putting 23, I put the 2, but then I went to put 4, you know, as if the 28th to the 11th, 24. There we are, for some strange reason, my delicious baby. So what I had to do is I had to change it, do you see what I mean, to the 27th, the 11th, I kept the same, you know, 2 I kept the same, and just had to change it to the 3 instead of the 4. Anyway, my delicious babies. So all I'm going to really say on this, okay, I'm not going to say a lot on this actually, okay, my delicious babies. Well, I'm just not. Okay, my delicious babies, so I'm just going to read out as follows. Okay, I have my own reasons why. So, for any of you out there, my delicious babies, if you happen to have a pen and paper or a pencil and paper. Okay, Madeline babies. Well, you've got a balsam, balsam, balsam bark, as in the bark of a tree, or, a little beautiful little baby animal that we call our sons and daughters. Woof woof. Okay, Madeline babies. So it's not that kind of bark, it's the other bark, Madeline babies, okay? Right, okay. Sage. Well, of course, there we are. I've mentioned sage a long time anyway. We've been using sage, there we are, for years. Do you know what I mean, Madeline babies? Sweetgrass. Okay, Madeline babies, that's really good for your hair. And it's also really good for your skin. Okay, my delicious little babies. It is not advisable to drink it. Okay, my delicious babies, because you'll end up with an upset tummy. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, it's usually used for the other. Okay, hair and skin. Yes. Okay, my delicious babies. Weekies. Okay, I'm going to spell that for you, my delicious babies, okay? There's different ways of spelling this. How is it spelled? Was it W? I think there's one way of spelling it, which is W-E or W-R-K-E-R-S, weekies. Okay, that's the first one. But I cannot remember whether it was E or the R. Okay, my delicious babies. And the other way to spell it, my delicious babies, okay, is W-R-H, H, K-E-S, weekies, okay, or weekies, okay, my delicious babies. Now then, my delicious babies, this should be noted, okay, very important here, my delicious babies, okay. I just need to put something now, and I put it in brackets, okay, my delicious babies. Nothing comes from books or computers, okay? My delicious little babies. So I'll just repeat that part again, shall I? My delicious little babies. Nothing comes from books or computers. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, sorry, just need to... Also, excuse me, just have a sip of my coffee, please, and thank you. Now then, what was really interesting about this, my delicious little babies, okay, is that, number one, you have to have super duper clean hands, my delicious little babies, okay, and of course, the sheet that they would bring, okay. I'm just careful about what I'm saying, okay. Well, that's also super duper clean, okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, what they do is once they so a prayer's done, okay, my delicious little babies, and then an offering of tobacco, okay, my delicious little babies, okay. Now, when these, just let you know, and the reason why there's an offering of tobacco and a prayer is because it's like that's the offering, so they're giving thanks for whoever it may be who is picking from the plant, okay, my delicious babies. They're giving thanks, so we'd say, you give thanks. Do you see what I mean in Jamaica? You give thanks, you see. But the point is so that you can, pick that plant, okay, which, of course, you're taking the life of the plant. Okay, my delicious babies, okay, but there's always other plants around, okay, my delicious babies. So what then happens is that you give, a prayer, you give a sprinkling of tobacco and a prayer. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? This is how it is done, okay, my delicious babies, but this is very specialised, okay? So this is not just something you can just go and do, okay? Marzlish babies, you'd need to, there we are, to, well, I would just suggest myself, because you know myself, it's very rare you'd ever see me on old Google, okay? Google, do you know what I mean? I usually always go through, you know, quack, quack, go, my delicious little babies, do you see? Okay? But the point is this, it's very interesting, okay, my delicious little babies, there we are, very interesting indeed. But if you wanted to read up on any of these, so I'll just, you know, mention it again, my delicious babies. So it's balsam bark, brackets, nothing comes from books or computers, sage, weekies, sweetgrass, okay, and an offering of tobacco, okay. And of course, you know, as you are taking the life of the plant to get, there we are, to get others better. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, really interesting, and not only that, but what I happen to be watching, you know, happens to know about, there we are, 44, okay, my delicious babies. I'm not going to say anything more on that now then. I'm going to close my book, but what I will say, it's super duper wonderful, but, and that's the best way for me to put it is my delicious babies, especially with what we're in at the moment in the world. That is the best way, there we are, for me to just, I've said enough as what I feel, there we are, of what to say. And I was even umming and ahhing whether to even say that, my delicious babies, but I do feel that, there we are, that it would be a very informative, you know, for those who are genuine out there who wish to read up more about these particular plants. Okay, my delicious babies, could you give me a moment, please, sweet? I just got to turn the light on, so I've just got one more thing to say, my delicious babies, please, and thank you. I'm sorry about that, my delicious little babies. We just needed some light on the subject, which of course, you know, we've already got lights here, haven't we, my delicious little babies, but we needed more light on the subject. Now then, so yes, that's where I wanted to keep it, but so the only thing I can say about that, just to finish, I said I'll finish, but the only thing to say about that, it's just so beautiful to watch. That's all I can say, my delicious babies. And the other thing I want to say is that I do not wish to have it disturbed in any way. Do you see what I mean? My delicious babies, by the wrong, if you get me. My delicious babies, okay? But at the same time, I feel that others who have an interest, I feel, would find it most informative, okay? My delicious babies, and Marty, there we are, useful. Okay, put it that way, my delicious babies. Now then, very lastly, so I wanted to leave it till last, okay? I don't know whether you remember, my delicious babies, when I told you, I was telling you about a dear old woman, old lady over the back who used to live over, you know. And I was asked, you know, if I could just do like a bit of washing for her. And, you know, it was never a lot, my delicious babies. I'm not going to stay on for long, okay? It was never a lot, my delicious babies. Do you understand what I mean? Oh, God bless her, okay? God love her. And so when I was doing like my meals, do you know what I mean? I'd say, oh, you know, she never asked me. You know, I just said, okay. I said, you know, and I bring her a meal round, okay? I mean, some of the food she was not keen on, simply because she was more the old-fashioned way, you know, because now that she's, you know, very sadly passed over, God bless, the day before my birthday, actually, my delicious babies, very sadly, God bless her. Anyway, well, today was her funeral, my delicious babies, you know, her service. So I was collected today, you know, from one of her dear friends. Oh, God love him, okay? They're a beautiful little family, okay? And, you know, I've known, you know, him a number of years then, okay? Martin's oh, beautiful, okay? And so he picked me up, you know, collected me. Anyway, And he put the mirror back on the wall for me, Martlish babies, because he's an ex-professional painter and decorator, you know what I mean, yes? Anyway, and so we went to, you know, the church and everything. And, she passed me. That's a long time, 3 months, you know, to have your service, Martlish babies. Well, with myself being a funeral arranger, okay, the fact of the matter is that shall we just say, the more busiest times, so I do not mean to depress or upset anybody, Martlish babies, but the most busiest would be summer, okay, and would be winter. There we are. Okay, I'm out to list babies anyway. And I knew who the funeral directors was because I used to work for them. Do you see what I mean, mad to babies? So I'm not going like it's funny. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm out to list babies. But no, so it was not a large service, mad to list babies. And of course, you know, it was all to do with, you know, as you very well know, somebody may wish to be buried, and for somebody else they may wish to be cremated. I'll have to think of the tune. It'll come back to me. Anyway, it's a beautiful tune. It wasn't singing, it was just a tune. And then the tune was played at the end, The Old Rugged Cross. That is a beautiful song, The Old Rugged Cross. Okay, Martlish babies. And yes, it was a beautiful service. Then we went back to, mind you, I will say this, and I said to who I was with, God bless, who'd kindly collected me, you know, my dear mates, God love them, you know what I mean? Well, there's only one that came, okay? I said, I really do not feel that I've ever been to a service that quick. It was really rather super duper quick. So we come out. But anyway, the point is, when we pulled up, there was an old-fashioned Fiesta, you know, the old Fiestas, Martlish babies. I'm sure that you'll all know the Fiestas, okay? The really old version, okay? Anyway, so I said, and it was like a sky blue with like stripes, if you know what I mean. And I pointed it out to who I was with, yes, to him. And I said, look, you know, because, God love him. He's in his what now? Is he in his, or is he 60 or something, I think, and his dear little wife, his dear little self. I don't know if I think they may be 60 or something, okay? Anyway, I've known them, there we are, I've known them a number of years, okay? My point being, they're so beautiful, a beautiful, dear little family, yes? And I said, look at that. I said, look at that old car. Anyway, so fast forward. So we went back to, you know, so you could have like tea, coffee, maybe a hot chocolate, you know, like a hot beverage, you know. And there was a lovely selection of sandwiches, my delicious babies. And I'm not usually one to eat a lot of bread. Anybody, there we are, who knows me knows what I'm like. Okay, my delicious babies, yes. But I thought I'll have a few of these. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? And then, of course, you know, you went up to the, you know, it's like it was like a community centre, if you know what I mean. Anyway, they had a gorgeous selection of sandwiches, my delicious babies, lovely sandwiches, yes. And I thought, I'll have a bit of you, I'll have a bit of you, I'll have a bit of you. It looks a lot, doesn't it, when they're little triangles, but they're not really. Do you understand what I mean? Half the time, you know, it couldn't fill your left nostril, do you know what I mean? That's just a figure of speech, part of this, it's only a figure of speech, okay? But on a serious note, the sandwiches were beautiful, the service was beautiful, they were constantly, you know, coming round with you like something, you know, to eat, you know, or would you like to go and get something to eat, or would you like a cup of tea, would you like a cup of coffee, or, you know, in some cases it was a chocolate, a hot chocolate. The service was beautiful as well, okay? So we had the service at a dear lady, okay? And then we had the service at this like little social club. And then like there was some old-fashioned photographs, because the dear gentleman, you know, my dear mate, yes, who took me, okay, he was asked by the dear lady's niece, okay, if he could go and get the photographs, you know, like all of the older photographs and everything, yes, because some have already been taken out of the dear lady's flat. Do you see what I mean, Martin Space? Anyway, so next thing you know, right, so I was looking, you know, I was looking at all these lovely photographs, all the black and white photographs. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I used to love going through, me beautiful dear Nana and Grandad, how I love you so, you know. Well, I used to love, you know, sitting with my beautiful dear little Nanny, you know, and, you know, she'd be saying, oh, this is it, this was it, this is it. It's just so beautiful. And then, of course, when I used to do my care work on and off for over 20 years, you know, it was just so lovely because it is somebody else who's a lot older wanting, there we are, to share, you know, their life. Isn't that beautiful, Natalie? Anyway, the photographs were so beautiful. Anyway, so I'm looking through, like, the more that are, like, in the colour, you know, like you get these little albums, yes? And anyway, so what did I spot? One of those fiestas. Natalie Babies. Then, at this other place, it said Juliet. There was another place, Blackpool Beach. Because what happened was, this dear lady, there we are, did travelled around a fair bit. Do you see what I mean? 2 different places, okay, my delicious baby. So I assume not just in the UK, because it looked to other places like it was well out the UK. Do you see what I mean? Yes. Anyway, because I only got to know her in the past. What was it? Oh, it's got to be about 3 years, 4 years, or something like that. Anyway, my delicious babies. Anyway, but I told you the story. Do you know what I mean? Because she'd had a fall and everything, so we just had to get in. I managed to get my hand in the door. Do you understand what I mean? To get in, you know. And, it took a couple of hours for the ambulance, but I stayed there. Do you understand what I mean? I made her a lovely cuppa and everything, you see. But for myself, by that time, I mean, not that I'm saying anything, but by that time, I would have found a way, really, to God love her, to sit her up instead of her being, we just had to make her as comfortable as possible. God bless her. Anyway. But as she got older, God love her, she just kept having falls, okay? But she had a little stubbornness as well to her, do you know what I mean? Like, she'd like to go out and do a weeding, okay? And I'd say, but you shouldn't be, do you know what I mean? Then I'd talk to a dear friend, been friends with her for like 20 years, who took me today, yes? Who's my mate, yes? Over the years, yes? And I'd say, can you please, she keeps going out to do a weeding, but what was happening was she was falling, so she'd break her arm, or do you understand what I mean, yes? Anyway, oh, God love her, God bless her, yes, okay? And, of course, she used to call me a number of times, Carla, can you come into this? Carla, can you come? Do you know what I mean, So, I found myself doing that, and then I found myself, forgetting to tell you before, then I found myself painting a fence, and I'd found myself, painting a flipping garage, then I found myself, I didn't mean flipping like that, my delicious babies, but I found myself doing, do you understand what I mean, yes? Anyway, God bless her, do you understand what I mean? So whilst I was looking, so just little things, my delicious babies, and of course I clock everything, okay? And of course, who collected me, who knows me? Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? He turned around and he said to me, okay, somebody's trying to get hold of me, I've got to go very shortly, my delicious babies, so I'm awfully sorry for the distractions. Anyway, I just noticed different things in the photographs. It's really, really hard to explain, my delicious babies. And what I was also told, she weren't mind, William, a little darling, and a dear little family weren't mind either, me saying, or a dear little friend who collected me, oh, God bless dear net. Well, when she was younger, she got TB, my delicious babies, okay? Anyway, so there's that situation there, God love her. Anyway, so I got sitting down and I was talking to, and I didn't know anyone, so I went with who I went with, yes, okay? And I didn't know anybody, do you see what I mean? But with me, because I'm so extroverted, I'll just strike up a convo with anyone. Do you understand what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying to you, yes? So it's not the case that you want to fit in. It's the case of being most polite. but I'd never met her dear niece before or dear nephew-in-law before. So I met them at the church, do you see? We sat in the front, okay? The four of us, do you see? And anyway, so just having a little natter and everything. Oh, and then we got talking about her dear niece, and then I was explaining, and we got on to different things like cancer attacks and different things like this now, okay? And of course, you had a lot more where they were elderly, do you see, in this, like, the after service. And there was different tables. And mentioning, what was it now? Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, how many natter babies, yes? Like in Gaza, where it's very sadly, anyway, like I said, I do not take sides, I just feel it's awful for any party, do you understand me? And she says, yes, she said, I was really shocked when I heard you, and she said, the gas, I said, yes, I said, the oil, yes. Do you see? It's really good. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes. Then I mentioned about the cash and the wanting to go cashless. Then this dear elderly gentleman who was 80, he was sat next to me. Yes, elderly babies, and then he was saying yes. He said my son's very worried about this. Do you see what I mean? Because he's got some bairns who are grown up. God bless. Yes, and he had his dear little wife at home. And he said, yes, my son, God bless him, he said he's worried about this at the moment. Can you see how, there we are, do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious babies, yes? And then when I was talking about, council taxes and different things like this now, yes, the dear lady who passed over, like I said, her dear niece and her dear husband, yes, they said, he turned around and said, well, very sadly, he said, we comply. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? He said, very sadly, I repeat again, we comply. He said, we just want a quiet laugh. There we are. Do you see, my delicious babies? I said, yes. I said, I understand. Do you understand what I mean? We're still talking about all different things, so it wasn't like it put a plug in the convo. Do you understand what I mean? Because it did not. Do you see? It's just that I just feel that he was like listening as if to say, it's like they wish they could, do you see? But this other dear gentleman, I had some really, honestly, I must say, some lovely conversations, okay, banging conversations. I really did, banging conversations. They're really lovely, especially the dear elderly. They really are, they're so lovely, really. And they're beautiful, just to sit and you listen. There's another dear gentleman telling me that he ran a marathon. What was it now? Is it 50? Total of something. 50 odd mile, or anyway, he was doing a really, really, really long trip, okay? Anyway, he was explaining that, God bless him, his dear little wife, who'd known this dear lady since she was 15, since they were teenagers. She'd broken her arm, God bless her. She'd had another fall, so she had in one of these, and this other dear gentleman who's 80, like I said, he said to me, he said, I believe in life, okay? He said that you're guided, then directed, then given direction, and then if you need help, you get the help. It was fascinating. He was telling me that he'd worked, because a lot of these dear elderly, God bless them, they were retired, and they had, I suppose what they call professional jobs, elderly babies, do you see? But they're all retired and elderly, do you see? Oh, God bless them all. And he was telling me that he was working in laboratories, elderly babies. Laboratories, do you say? And then he said, what happened was, and he said that he had like a mental health issue, and he had that for 10 years. Now what happened was he was struggling because he could not concentrate on his job, okay? So what happened was they said, okay, instead of you working in a laboratory, we'll give you other jobs, there we are, other little jobs to do, okay? So when he retired, he said he retired at 51, and he said, and it's something to do with 85, and he said, so that's how they all worked it out years ago, okay? So that was that lot, but we're also talking about, because I was saying, you know, it's so lovely to see couples, you know, together after all of those years. And he said yes, and was having a real good old, all of us was having a real good old natter, do you see what I mean? And, you know, because I was clearly the youngest, there we are there, do you see what I mean, yes? And they said, you're still young. You know, oh, they're so much older than me, you know. You're still young. I said, yes. They said, I'm 50 years younger. Do you see what I mean? Yes. Anyway, I give them all hugs and kisses to them. Oh, I did. God love them. And God bless them. There were a number who had a colds and just kept coughing and blowing their nose. God bless them. It must be time of year. God love them. May they all get better soon. God bless. Anyway, and just family, yes. And we're talking about this, and I said, well, it just seems to me, I said, that there are couples now these days, I'm not going to say about every single one, Martin, I'm just saying, when you look at a lot, they just do not, you know, stay together for, you know, and then the dear lady over the back whose funeral it was, oh God bless, her dear niece, right, because her husband, she was sat here, her husband was sat there, right, and she says, well, in those days, and she, oh God bless you, she was trying not to cough, you know. She said, in those days, she said, well, you never had a choice, did you? I burst out laughing, everybody, and then her husband went, do you know what I mean? And she says, no, she said, what she meant was, you know, that she said, yes, you know, you have your disagreements, you have a few little arguments, you know, she said, but I've never left him. You know, she said, he's never left me. She said, you know, she said, it just seems that when the times get tough is when others, not all, but do you see what I mean, seem to walk away rather than being, you know, working it out. But I've been saying this for decades. There we are, Martin, little babies, do you say? And very sadly, that's what happens, isn't it? But, you know, they work it out together. And do you see what I mean? Yes. And to all who I spoke to, they were still with the husbands, wives. Do you see what I mean? Yes. Anyway, and this dear gentleman was telling me, God bless him, the dear older gentleman who worked in the laboratory, yes, okay? And he actually said, because the other dear lady, you know, the dear lady's dear niece, she said, I bet you felt better when you were doing the odd jobs rather than in the laboratories. He said, yes. And she said, I bet it was much better for your mental health. And he turned around, he said, yes, it was. Can you say, Martin, little babies? It's very important to just, for what I've just said to you there, Martin, little babies, okay? Anyway, so then he said, but himself, because he's going back to his dear little wife, oh God bless, do you know what I mean? Yes, but he just wanted to make sure he attended, you know, the dear lady's little funeral service and afterwards, yes. And he said, yes, he said, you know, he said in that 10 years, he said they were having a tough time, his dear little self and his dear little wife, and he said it was a tough time. He said, because I was going through, do you see, not to harm his family at all, you know, but he said he just needed to, but they worked it out, and he said, and his dear little wife's, you know, stayed with him, and they stayed together, and then things started to settle, you know. But I just feel that maybe he felt a little bit with the pressure with the laboratories. There's something that clearly, do you see what I mean? That's, I don't know, that's the impression I got or something. Anyway, my delicious baby, so that's that really. But, oh, it was a beautiful, yes. Little service. Oh, God love you, my little baby, little darling. May you rest in peace. I'd said that anyway, my little babies, and I went and took a walk, you know, over to her flat. It's a little ground floor one. Mind you, you know, if you could see the, you know, because it's a bought flat, like, but if you could see the gardens, I've said to her many a time, I says, you know what, I says, my little lovely, my little darling, I says, you know, I said, you can see your grass now, which you can. I said, flip me, I said, she'd be flipping, she'd be right cussing, do you know what I mean? Yes, she always loved her little, you know, flowers and bushes and everything, you know. Oh, God bless. Well, hopefully, you know, somebody will move in and, you know, make it their home, you know, once it's, you know, sold and everything, okay? Anyway, so that's the video, my delicious little babies, you know. May anybody, God bless anybody, God rest all of the beautiful dear little souls. May everybody just, you know, who's sadly no longer with us, may everybody just please and thank you, just please rest in peace. And sending your beautiful little friends, family, work, colleagues so much love. You know, that's all I want to say, really. Anyway, lights off, I've got to go. So, yeah, but I feel, you know, that she's, you know, I mean, she'll already be in spirit anyway, my delicious babies, okay, because you're only walking for so long, you know, on a spiritual level, okay, you're only walking the earth so long, you see what I mean, and then you go in spirit, so when you pass, anyway, that's what I believe, and that's what, there are others who believe the same, okay, my delicious babies, so she'd already be in, spirit anyway, my delicious babies, but it's just lovely that you know, at least now she can be, do you understand what I mean? Yes, okay. Anyway, it was just lovely to have a natter, you know, that's just how I seen it really. But of course, I was, you know, growing up, even though I was around, you know, Burns my own age, but at the same time I was around a lot of older, if you know what I'm saying to you, yes. And especially when I used to go to Hull, you know, I used to spend more time in Hull than I did in Brummyland, to be honest with you, my delicious baby. So anyway, so until my next video, okay? Sending each and every one of you bright blessings, peace, love and harmony in every one of your lives, okay? And may your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families all be fully protected, okay, my delicious babies? And please, a smile a day keeps the doctor away, okay? If you're like me, a moan a day keeps the doctor away, and crunch, crunch, an apple a day, or an orange keeps the doctor away, okay, my delicious babies? And please take care of yourselves, and please try to take care of others. Please continue to lift the vibration, and also please, my little beautifuls, please give a listening ear, because it's always very welcomed, okay? So you just all take care now, wherever you are in the world. Have a super duper time. You only get one laugh. Okay, my delicious babies, so much love to you all now, okay? And have a beautiful evening. You know, please, good night and God bless, okay? And please do rest well. Please do sleep well, okay? Thank you so very much for anybody who wishes to listen to my video today if you happen to stumble across me, okay? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.